explosion. Is everybody with me on that so far?
Yeah.
Next. Documentation always beats conversation. So we're in Inc., Fortune, Forbes, USA Today, Success Magazine, been on CNBC, NBC, on the Celebrity Apprentice, where I appeared in 2009. 2011, we created a 2-hour platform, which is we're the only company within this industry that has been on primetime TV for 2 hours, specifically on our company. How many people think that's pretty extraordinary? Which means business is coming to us, we don't have to look for it. Next. This right here is impressive. No mortgage, sits on top of 3 football fields. It's not a corner office where we're running a little operation out of somewhere. We aren't going anywhere. It's a very established behemoth of a company where this is our world headquarters on 140,000 square feet. World headquarters, but we're stationed throughout the entire world. Next. Our other offices span between Canada, Australia, which we opened up to go into the Pacific Rim. I mean, currently, we're in Great Britain, Germany, Sweden, Holland, Netherlands, Norway, Canada, Austria, Ireland, Italy, Spain, France, Australia, New Zealand. I just say it fast because if you hear your country, you'll get it. Is everybody with me on this? Okay. That means that if you like the 3 things that I like, you should just get in. I like to travel, shop, and eat. Does anybody like it? Okay. Next. What is it that you actually market? We offer all these different products in which we're going to go over today. The video phone is amazing. Cisco built the entire backdrop of that phone. In that, what you're talking about is in parts of Europe and Asia, it already has linguistic technology. That means if you talk in Cantonese and I talk in French, we hear each other in our own native tongue. That's coming here. I had a guy from Honduras who actually had this phone. We got it for him and his father. It cost him $99. Now, in turn, his average bill was $500 staying in touch with his family. How many people know people that have family in other countries? Okay? So we got him the phone. The father actually got the phone, and they hadn't seen their children in 11 years because the son left early to come over to the United States to give his family a better life. We dropped his bill from $500 down to $23.99 a month, unlimited calling. So for the first time in 11 years, his parents were able to see his kids through the phone. I have this hooked up through each one of my big screens, plasmas, everything else. All of the places, I mean, it's just amazing because we've gone from an audio, if you will, audience to a visual audience. I mean, look at the iPads, look at the iPhones, look at the Evos, look at the Androids. Does everybody follow me on that so far? I mean, I'm like with my son yesterday. It's freaking me out because it's happening, and it's called Moore's Law, by the way. It's collapsing time frames. So I'm with my son, and, you know, he had PTA or parent-teacher day or whatever yesterday, and he had the day off. And he's playing his game, he's got the headset going on, and he's interacting with people all over the world playing this thing called Charter 3. I mean, glued to it. And anybody else know that game? Because I don't, but it seems to be a really exciting game. The graphics on it are phenomenal. I don't play games because I have an obsessive personality, and it would take me away from everything. I would just sit there. Since I don't have to work, I'd be there for like 2 days with no sleep, no food. So I specifically stay away from these games that everybody plays. But I'm looking at my son sit up there and play these games, and at the same time he has his Apple computer open, and I'm like, what is he interacting between the computer and the TV? I wanted to ask him, but I didn't want to interrupt. Anybody know that feeling? He's 12 years old, and I don't want to interrupt a 12-year-old kid. You know, like, dude, you got the headphone going, the phone. Shh. I'm like, you know, when he finally finished, at the end of the day, I was like, okay, it's time for you to go. We got to do some things. I asked him, what are you doing? He's like, I'm talking to all my friends. He's got 16 pictures of all his friends around the country that he's talking to and seeing while playing this game. And I'm just like, I only had Tonka toys. I built tree houses. I mean, it's just amazing the day that we live in. Would everybody agree with that conversation? So we live in a visual, so you're talking about that video phone, under $30 a month, unlimited calling, and now for Christmas, what our company is doing, it's allowing you to get that phone and add a family member on the family plan, and it's only $1.99. So I can call my sister, get her the phone, and then only add her on for unlimited calling to talk to my sister for $2, and not even tell her how much it costs for the monthly bill, and tell her, oh, I got that, and act like I'm balling out of control. Like, oh, I got this, I'm paying for this one, all right? I'm going to cover the whole year. Man, he must be making a lot of money. So it's $1.99. But it's going to be amazing for Christmas to be able to get that stuff for people. I set it up in Starbucks. I've set it up in my Excel. In my car. And in turn, wherever you go, if you've ever walked to a Best Buy and you've seen your picture up, and there's not one person that doesn't stop and is like, where's the camera? Are y'all with me on that so far? So we want that. That's where we're going right now in this day and age. High-speed internet, I don't need to say anything about that. Wireless, I had a person who had a BlackBerry Curve. The phone cost them $400. They lost it. They then got another one, a $500 phone, a BlackBerry Pearl, for free. How many people know free is a good rate? Overnighted it in 24 hours, activated, and from the time they push send on the cell phone, you get paid. And so there is no distinction. There's no generic company. They're getting it directly from the source, whether it be T-Mobile, whether it be Sprint. Is everybody following me on that so far? So, I mean, you become your own distribution channel, or if you will, you can open up your own Sprint store from any beach in the world you want without having to pay for the lease, the overhead, the suppliers. We do all that for you. Isn't that pretty cool? Yeah. Okay? You look at that television. We have everything from Charter to Time Warner to you name it, everything from Fios, everything that you could possibly want, we are already offering of bills that they already pay. Home security, ADT security, premium technical support. Now, why I'm in 20, 30, 40-degree weather here in Chicago and left 75 degrees of a beach and a boat is because of energy. Okay? Gas and electricity is huge. It's for anybody who wants to take advantage of a modern-day gold rush. It is the greatest redistribution of wealth you will see in your lifetime. There's nothing sexy about gigawatts, fiber optics, and telecom, but it is sexy to wake up when you finish sleeping. That's bringing sexy back. When you talk about for real, energy is, I mean, you're talking about there's only 8 states in the entire country that currently have it in both factions, both gas and electricity. And by March, this state will have both of them. Is anybody excited about that? So, what is it we actually do? What's your name, Russ? Me and Madeline go way back. Can't you tell how you do? Okay. So Madeline is my sister. I go to Madeline and I say, look, Madeline, we've been, family members our whole life. Okay? If I could show you a way to save up to 30, 40, possibly 50% on a bill that you already have, no cost, no commitment, no contract whatsoever, nothing's going to change. Your bills are just going to get lower. Would you support my business and give it a try? Madeline? Yes. Madeline says yes. So I'm still going to get my energy from ComEd. I'm still going to get my phone service from AT&T in my house. Everything can stay the same for distribution, and I can lower my bills in other vendors if I choose to. Once she says yes, because in this economy, if you know someone who doesn't want to save money and they don't want to make some money, you should delete them from your phone book. Is you all right with me on that so far? So it's seamless. The reason why, what was so appealing to me getting involved with this business is that I don't have to ask her for any money out of her pocket. I don't have to teach her how to use the phone. I don't have to go back to her in 6 months and say, do you need some more dial tone or gigawatts? I'm able to do something one time. Now, ask yourself this if you're here for the first time and you're really getting exposed to this. How long will you have bills? Forever. Forever. How often are you supposed to pay your bills? Every month. How many times did I ask Madeline to become a customer? Once. One time. So I asked Madeline to become a customer one time. You're going to get paid every month. Forever. Does anybody like that equation? Okay? Because we were always looking at how do we get pieces of these multi-billion-dollar conglomerates. I mean, it's like, and don't take it out of context, but I honestly believe that there are 3 of the biggest legal scams on the planet. 3 of the biggest legal scams. And that would be telecom, utilities, and taxes. Because you can't get around paying them. You tell me the last time you took your utility bill and really dissected what a therm is. You don't. You just pay it. Because if you don't, they'll turn your lights off and your heat in this winter. Yes or yes? Yes. When was the last time you dissected your phone bill when it was too high? And guess what? How many times, has anybody ever seen somebody in a Sprint store that they just cried and complained about the bill? It's like, this can't be my bill, and da-da-da-da-da. Has anybody seen something like that in itself? And guess what they end up doing? No matter how much they, excuse my term, bitch and complain, they pull out that card or that checkbook and they pay it. Because they have to have, it is now not a novelty, it is a need, it's a necessity, especially in today's society, as many people are living off wireless. Is everybody with me on that so far? Yes. And taxes, we could talk about that till the sun comes up. But you can't get around them, but you spend most of your life trying to figure out how to get around them, then you do just paying them. It just costs too much. Is everybody following me on that so far? So when you look at all that, this is how we're able to, people say, well, how are you able to save people money? Well, we eliminate the traditional methods of marketing. We don't do commercials, we don't do billboards, we don't do telemarketing, we don't do, a radio or television. We take all that out and go directly to the consumer. The best metaphor is that I'm actually, what's your name? Sherman knows a lot of people that drink coffee, and Ashley is going to get some coffee. Ashley goes in and gets some coffee and says, I like a black coffee. They tell her at Starbucks that'll be $3. She's still going to Starbucks. She's not going to Buck Stars. Everybody with me? So she goes and says, I want a regular